we'd have a little session of Canna HR help. I found some really cool questions that are apparently the top 50 questions most Googled by employees. I'm going to go through them. We won't do all 50 today. So we'll start with number one. Thought we'd start with the one that's asked the most, right? Well, I'm not going to take you through a 50 question countdown. But the most asked question is, do employers have to offer health insurance? And the answer is no, they do not. Employers do not have to offer health insurance. All right, I'll answer the second most asked question, which is, do employers have to pay for unemployment? If you were involuntarily terminated, more than likely, yes, they do have to pay for unemployment. So I'll walk you through a little bit through the unemployment process. So if you quit, you are not eligible for unemployment. The end. Even if it was some sort of constructive discharge where you felt like you were forced to quit, that kind of thing, they made it an untenable situation and you just were going to be better off. Fair enough. Unemployment commissions, workforce commissions look at that as a your choice kind of thing. And so more than likely you would not get unemployment approved. However, if you were fired, if you were laid off, anything involuntarily, anything that causes you to separate from the company of not your choosing, right? You would be more than likely eligible for unemployment. If a company just ignores the unemployment claim, more than likely that's just going to be sort of an automatic guarantee that your claim is approved. More and more workforce commissions actually will penalize companies for not replying to claims. So it's really in a company's best interest to respond. They really are looking for more engagement on the employer side. And look, if you believe that you should receive unemployment, you can always file a claim. They're really easy. They almost always get approved. And then what happens next is you would do a hearing, and you would be sworn in and you would present your side of the a final incident per se of what led up to your termination. Your HR rep or your manager or the PEO rep or whomever you have who's the people person who manages that kind of thing at your company would be present, and they would walk through their final incidents as well, that led up to the termination. They likely will have documentation too. I would encourage you to keep documentation as well, anything leading up to your final termination. And if it was an involuntary termination, then your employer or former employer does have to pay it out. They don't have a choice. They pay into an insurance fund, and it's taken out of there. So they don't really have like a choice whether they pay or not. If your unemployment claim was approved because of an involuntary termination for whatever reason, they have to pay it. They may fight it, and they can fight it. Again, an appeals process will take place, and depending on the scenario, depending on documentation again, if everything leans into the employer's favor, then the claim might go their way. But hey, if you run into a situation like that, you've got me. You know where to find me. Just email Heather, hi at maryjanespeople.com. Just email Heather, hi at maryjanespeople.com, and I'll be able to help you out and walk you through the process. All right. Well, we tackled the top one and top two questions. So that's going to do it for this session of Canna HR Help. Have a good one.